Three times world Muay Thai champion Kieran Keddle joins me in the studio today. He is now retired and a coach at Double K Gym, which is home to 17 world champions, all in the last 3 years. Kieran's fighters will be participating at the upcoming Combat and Strength Show, which takes place in July 2016 at the O2 Arena. Welcome to the Sports Show.
Thank you for having me.
A little bit about your background, please, Kieran. You know, we know you're a fighter. You've been world champion 3 times. What inspired you to take up the sport?
Well, I was 12 years old. My older brother at the time was at university in Manchester. I used to do all types of sports. I was very competitive. He made a phone call back home and said to my mum, get him going Thai boxing. I found a local club. At the time it was run by Sean Toomey. So I went once or twice a week. Be honest with you, at first I wasn't hooked. I just not enjoyed the training, you know. A few years in, still keep it up once, twice a week, you know. Had other interests at the time, football, etc., etc. Got offered a fight, and then literally from that, I got hooked. The buzz was there, and now it's part of my life. You know, it's my business. It looks after everything for me.
For you,
yeah.
And I take it you've travelled to quite a few interesting places.
Yeah, all over. I think 45 countries in the last 15 years.
Wow.
Literally all over, you know, Asia to Thailand, of course. I've competed there myself. Had fighters over there, Japan, all over Europe. I've been to America several times over the last few years. I'm consider myself lucky. You know, it's a blessing. And, you know, it's amazing to think from when I first had my first fight at York Hall back when I was 14 years old to what's happened over the last sort of 21 years. Incredible.
Bringing you forward now to the Combat and Strength Show.
Yep.
Your role's a little bit reversed now.
Indeed.
So you've got fighters from within your establishment who will be participating at this major event.
Yeah.
Number one, what do you think of the new venue?
It's fabulous. You know, the O2 Arena is, if I'm right, got voted one of the world's best venues to host shows. You know, the Senai 2016 is going to be, I think it's going to be buzzing. You know, it's perfectly laid out. It's in a great place, good location. Everybody knows all around the world, not just in England, London O2. Everybody knows where it is. So I think it's going to be a great weekend. A bit crazy for me, but it's going to be great.
So you've got 35. At the moment, you've got approximately 35 fighters who will be participating,
Yep.
which will probably increase to around the 40 mark, I think, if we're fair.
Maybe.
Which could increase today. How's preparations taking place for the Combat and Strength Show?
Hard work.
Yeah.
So, you know, on the Friday we've got a couple of white-collar boxers. The Saturday we've got the Contender Show. I've got a lot of amateurs coming through my gym that are going to be competing on that. In the evening I've got a Bellator. I've got CJ Meeks from my gym who's going to make his Bellator debut on that. The following day I've got a lot of juniors fighting on the Contender Juniors side. And then, of course, in the evening, Jeremy Bailey's show, Ronin. I've got, at the moment, 6 on that. So, yeah, it's going to be a hectic weekend, but it's what I'm here for. It's what I love to do. You know, all types of fighting is my business. And I'm just happy to be part of the whole weekend.
And are you thinking of bringing a big crowd over?
Always. We always do, you know. We're only a little gym, but we've got a huge following. You know, every show that we go to, we always bring a big crowd. Yeah, we be getting behind our boys and girls.
Right. There'll be people watching this interview, Kieran.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of youngsters who watch it. 95% of our viewers
Yep.
are probably people just like you and me,
Yep.
from working class backgrounds. They'll be looking at someone like yourself, feel inspired by the story that they see in front of them now. Someone who's brought themselves up, worked hard, trained hard, never had a silver spoon in their mouth.
No.
Became 3 times world champion.
Yeah.
Now, I want to put you on the spot here. What advice would you have for somebody who's watching this video now, this interview now,
Yeah.
and who's inspired to become or achieve just like you have?
Just work hard. I can't say any other way. Work hard. You know, there's been times I've had a lot of failures. I won't lie. I've had to get through it. Not just physically with the training and that, but mentally as well, you know. And I think that my success now is because I've had failures in the past, but I've got over them. I haven't dithered about and gone, oh yeah, you know, everybody else is doing better than me. I've just got through that wall. I smashed through the wall. And like I said, now, it's made me stronger. It's made me, you know, business-wise as well. It's made me direct, you know, properly the right way, the right path. But you've got to keep, literally, if you believe in something, keep chipping away. That's all I'm going to say to people. Keep chipping away. When you've got to work hard, you can't just put your hand out and expect things. You know, training from leisure centres all the way through into sort of part-time gyms, village halls. You know, same with fighting. I was fighting in leisure centres, and then eventually I was over in Thailand, and then I was fighting in stadiums. It's the same with my fighters. You know, keep working away. And if you look at those stars that will get up there, never, you know, hardly any of them have had an easy path. They've had to work their way from the bottom. So yeah, that's my advice. Work hard, and you will get there.
Combat and Strength Show.
Yes.
It's been running now for a number of years. Hugely successful event, very popular as well.
Yep.
I know you're coaching this year, and you're basically shepherding all the fighters from your gym this year. But you're a previous participant. Tell us a little bit about your experience.
It's a good 14, 15 years ago. They brought over a team from Thailand. It was in Birmingham, and they brought over a really good team. And I actually lost on points against a good Thai. And it was a fantastic event. It was a lot of, it was just like a huge team come over from Thailand. It was Thailand versus England. And I was just happy to represent my country and represent my club. And I was just happy to be in the big fights. And so I put a massive show on. I think there was a good few thousand people in attendance, you know, watching that specific show. So, a great experience. And, you know, it just seems to have gone from strength to strength from that.
We've got a local world champion here, Ruxana Begum.
Yes.
Who you probably...
Yes, I do. Many years ago, in one of my previous promotions, she fought on it, yeah. Nice girl.
And what's your experience of her?
Very nice, polite, huge following, absolutely massive following. From a great gym, you know, the KO gym. The owner of KO gym, Bill Judd, is a long-term friend of mine. But yeah, she's a nice fighter. She's got a good style, very fast. And like I said, from a good stable as well, the KO gym. And yeah, you know, she fights. Still fights now. I believe she fought a couple of months ago. And I'd like to have her on one of my events in the future, that's for sure.
So fighters at your gym, Kieran, are they looking forward to participating and competing at the Contender Cup?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the Contender Cup is the starting place now, we believe, for fighters that are coming through the ranks to get onto the big shows, is to go into, you know, a tournament of all different weights, all different. The good thing about the Contender Cup is it's for people under 10 fights. So you've got all these big shows up and down the country, but the Contender Cup is for people making their debuts, up to 10 fights, and they're going to a massive tournament. You know, we're looking at 350, 400 entrants this year alone. That's just for the adult section, you know, not including the juniors.
Just the adults?
Just the adults, yeah. And we're doing the veterans as well, so it's open to everyone. But this is, like I said, this is for looking for... We have another show called the Muay Thai Grand Prix. That's our bigger show. Then we've got this show called the Contender, which is an amateur-based tournament, and it's looking for the next star or next person that wants to step up, you know. And our last one we did last year was a huge success. That was a little tester for us. And to be given the chance to fight, to host the show at the Combat and Strength is it's unbelievable.
So you must have a lot of personalities from the industry actually visiting and scouting and networking. And,
of course.
So it's a huge platform for all these fighters out there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's thousands of people that will be there as well, watching. To show your stuff is what we all dream of. You know, when we walk into the gym and lace our gloves up for the first time and you want to compete, you couldn't think of anything else. And, you know, especially for an amateur to fight at the O2, what more could you ask for, really?
Who was your inspiration as you were growing up?
Several, but, you know, my favourite, of course, was a famous Dutch fighter called Van Dekkers. Sadly passed away a couple of years ago. Don't get me wrong, I thought nothing like him at all in any way at all, but he was just, I used to have these old VHS videos, you know, loads of them, just watch him all the time. It was just seeing a European star fight against Thais, the top Thais, and, you know, give it his all. And I used to just watch videos just in awe of him, really, you know. And he was like an idol growing up. There's several others as well along the way, but he was my main star I used to look up to.
Kieran, thanks very much for your time.
No problem at all.
Thank you. That's www.combatandstrength.com. For further information, the information is there at the bottom of your screen. Thanks for watching The Sports Show.